Good morning, YouTubers. It's April and it's a beautiful spring day. It's morning. Smokey and Frosty want to play with their ball early this morning. And I'm in the middle of doing some fertilizing on the fruit trees and everything we have in the backyard. This one just got done recently. I just got done doing this one. And this is my plum tree. I have two plum trees here. And it looks like this might be the first year where we just might get some plums. This looks like a blossom, so I might just get some plums this year. This might be their second to third year here. Or they're about 2 or 3 years old, I should say. Shh, Smokey. I'll show you what I do to fertilize the trees. This is something that I'm probably just going to do once. It's not something that I do all the time, but the trees weren't mulched. This is how they were. And so this year I'm mulching them and fertilizing them so that I can protect them from drought. Last year was very dry, and I spent most of my time just, watering a lot because they didn't have any mulch, didn't have any protection. The grass, kind of soaks up most of the moisture. So they had that there, to compete with. So this year we're mulching and fertilizing just so that they'd be in a better position should there be a drought. They would be better prepared. So I'll show you what I do. So I dug up all the grass and kind of tossed it over there for now. And in addition to that, I dug nice trenches just around. I'm going to level all this out, and I'm going to throw down the fertilizer and work it really well into the soil. But before I do that, I kind of dig out some dirt so that I can get the fertilizer as close to the roots as possible. Not really touching the roots, but get the fertilizer within the root level, and also cover it up so that the boys don't dig in there. But I'll show you what I do and what I mean by when I level this dirt out. So I went ahead and leveled out the dirt. You can see on there. It's all leveled out. And what I'm going to do at this point is we're going to come over here. See, I put some of the soil that I dug up on my bucket, and I'm going to mix that in with leaves, dried leaves that I have over here. And the fertilizer that I use works really well for me is the fishbone meal. It's Dr. Earth fishbone meal. Get out of my shadow there. I swear by this stuff. My roses, and I have roses and flowers in the front yard, and they just love this stuff. My roses have never looked so good after I started using the fishbowl meal, so I use this on everything. I'm also going to mix in some worm casings, and this is new that I'm trying this year. I'm also going to throw in some dried cane molasses, and that's what it looks like. It's nice and dry. And I also picked up, this is a 30-ounce scoop, just so that I don't over fertilize it. I mean, this is all natural stuff, so it's not going to kill anything, but just so that I don't waste fertilizer and just too much, I'm going to just use 1 scoop of each of these, and the 1 scoop should be enough to get the trees going and get them ready for spring. And so I'm going to get started with that right now. And I'll scoop 1 of each using this scoop into the bucket, mix it, and then I'll pour it into the around the tree. So on here I went ahead and mixed them all together, and just went ahead and poured it around the tree. So the next step I'm going to do is the extra dirt, the dirt that I dug up to put in the bucket. I'm going to take those dried leaves and I'm going to work them into that soil so that I can pour the soil over this. Now this is all going to get kind of mixed in. I'm going to take a rake and really work it into the soil. I'm not just going to leave it standing here. And just before I pour this dirt over on top, and that's going to all be mixed in with the dry leaves, and that'll just add, you know, the leaves will slowly decompose into the soil, and it'll also add some summer aeration into the soil. And it'll help the tree out and microorganisms and everything that's in there, and give the tree a nice head start. This is still a young tree. It did fruit last year for the first time, and it should fruit this year as well. So now that it's starting to fruit and putting a lot of energy in fruiting, making an extra effort to make sure that I give it all the nutrients that it needs so that it can have a good fruitful future. So I'm going to go ahead and get started mixing some of these leaves into that soil so that I can put the soil right back on top of the tree. Alright. So I went ahead and I raked in the fertilizer just slightly into the soil, just carefully, because there are some roots being exposed from the tree on there. And right here you'll see that I worked some of the leaves into the soil that I dug up, just so that I can get some of this fertilizer like deep into or close to where the tree roots are. So this is going to end up going on top of this, on top of where I dug it up. I'm going to put it all back, and the leaves will, like I said, they'll decompose. They'll help feed nutrients slowly into the soil. There's leaves, there's grass, clippings, there's all sorts of stuff here, and as soon as I'm done with putting this back on here, I'll mulch the tree, and that'll the leaves also work as moisture retention as well too, just so that you know. But I'm also going to, as you can see with the other trees, I'm also going to mulch in addition to putting the soil back with the leaves. I'll add extra mulch, and that will help keep moisture in the soil. I won't have to water as much. Removing all the grass around the tree also helps the tree take in the soil or the water quickly, so that it's not competing with the grass. And so this is a good way to just get your young tree prepared, you know, and keep a nice healthy tree, something that's, you know, won't compete when there's a drought. And we did have a really bad drought last year. There wasn't a whole lot of rain, so I spent most of my time just pouring water on the trees. They didn't have any mulch. They didn't have, you know, they had grass all around them. So there was a lot of competition with the grass. So this way I won't be so concerned if we don't have rain for a while or for a few weeks. I know that the leaves and the mulch will work as water retention for the tree, and also knowing that the fertilizer is there, the tree will have plenty of nutrients for a long-term drought. Alright, so I'm going to put these leaves, the soil, right back on here, and I'll show you how it looks like when I'm done. So here's the finished product. We have the soil put back. We mixed in leaves and twigs and whatever my neighbor was able to mow up and share with me. So what I'm going to end up doing at this point is I'm actually going to put a layer of newspaper or cardboard on top of this before I mulch it, and then that way it works as a weed mat, and also added moisture retention. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll show you the finished product. So I'll look for the newspaper or cardboard. I'll add it on top. I actually wet this before I even start that. I'm going to water hose this down, and then put the paper on top, and then wet the paper, and then put the mulch on top. And then that way everything kind of sticks and stays put, and doesn't fly off in the wind or anything. Kind of just it helps keep everything stuck together. So I'll get that started now. So this is what I can come up with just to add some added, I guess, another layer. And this is really more for weed matting. I'm going to use this as the cardboard for weed mat. Also, I mean, it adds another layer of moisture content, moisture retention, I should say. And I'm wetting it just so that it stays put. And once it soaks up a good amount of water, I'll add the mulch and place the mulch on top of it and then move on to the next plant. So I think this is pretty good for now, and then I'm going to go and get the mulch now and add it on top. So here is the end result. Tree's been fertilized. We've worked in some soil with leaves and twigs just to help with some moisture retention and aeration into the soil. In addition to that, we added another layer of cardboard. I sometimes use newspapers, but cardboard is what I could find right now. I used up the newspaper on the other trees. But we did the cardboard, we wet it, we moisturized it. Well, not moisturize it, but you know, we wet it so that the tree and the water can get in there and start working in the fertilizer. And then we topped it with mulch. So this tree is ready to go for the season, and this should actually hold it up for a few years when we'll probably have to remulch it. I don't think we'll need to put more cardboard, but if we do, then I don't expect that to happen again for maybe a year or two, maybe even 3 years. And we'll work on the rest of the trees. We have my cherry and my pear tree that still need to have this done, and we also have my Granny Smith apple tree. And then we also have the front and side yard to work on. I can't wait to show you my my bamboo forest and a few other plants that we plan on planting. You can see we got plenty of room to plant, and we also intend on putting a nice patio here, so that's going to be exciting to share with you. I hope you enjoyed my YouTube video. I'm excited. It's my first video, so just bear with me. I hope to do better next time, but I hope that you were able to take something off of this. And I look forward to sharing some more information with you in regards to plants and fertilizer. Like I said, I do enjoy using the fishbowl meal, the worm casings, and this is my first year with the molasses, but I know that the molasses is something that really gets worked into the microorganisms. The microorganisms love it. So I intend to see some positive results from that in the taste of the fruit, and also in the trees, how the trees are going to react to it. So thank you for watching my YouTube video. Smokey and Frosty say thank you as well, and I hope you have a good day.